Hey guys, it's Empress. Guess what? I'm back with another one. Let's get to it. It's more than a statement, it's a way of life. Celebration. The Mr. Jackson talking. Okay, so this was one of those must-watch interviews you guys mentioned I should watch him. 60 Minutes Australia, not 60 minutes. We get 10 minutes. Let's go.
Herself an argument. She is quite simply a phenomenon. Not just a singer, not just a dancer. No, more.
Wow, so in Australia, they just showed it just like this, blur, no nothing. Interesting.
An industry. And she is, of course, outrageous. If she's not trying to sell lurid photos of herself, she's shocking us with suggestive song lyrics and kinky costumes. Since everyone now appears to know every detail of her private...
I don't know, y'all. It's so weird to me because, and maybe this is with the advancements and cosmetic alterations, but I don't know. It just seemed like people don't really seem like this old anymore. I mean, like even old people, like people in their 40s and 50s, they don't seem like this old anymore. And maybe it's also because of I guess culture, social media or something. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of older people don't really act old, and you really don't automatically respect them off the strength of them being old anymore either. Anyway, that's a whole conversation. Let's go.
life, not to mention every private part of her body, one can only ask, what's next? The amazing thing that strikes one who meets you for the first time, as I have today, is that you're...
Small?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're barely big enough to wield a microphone, let alone a whip. Do people say that to you?
Well, it's not the size of the wand, it's the wizard behind it.
No.
But I mean, size has nothing to do with it. Look how small Napoleon was, right? I think small people try harder.
She looked really good as a woman.
Now there's Madonna's latest shocker. It's called Sex. This $60 book, many would describe some of them as sexual perversion. Maybe your brazenness about sex conceals some insecurity within yourself.
I think that's just someone who's afraid of what I have to say's way of trying to undermine what I'm saying.
Is there a message in the book?
There's probably lots of messages. Yeah. Well, what did you get out of it?
I got a fright.
You got a what?
I got a fright.
You got afraid?
Well, a fright at what was there, yeah.
Why?
I'd never seen the likes of it.
You have so.
I know.
Oh, please. You haven't gone to you've never read Playboy magazine or Penthouse or anything like that?
Yes, but it was different with you.
Why?
Well, there was the picture of you astride the mirror, masturbating. I thought that was horrible.
Why?
It just strikes me as horrible.
I think that people's reaction to specific situations in the book was much more a reflection of that person than me. I mean, you were scared by that picture. What does that mean? Are you frightened of a woman that can turn herself on? Are you frightened of a woman who is not afraid to look at her genitals in the mirror? Does that frighten you?
A little bit, yes. Yes, that's right.
Why?
Oh, I don't know why. I want to hear about you, not me. I'm happy to talk about me,
okay.
but why?
I'd rather talk about you.
It's obvious Madonna doesn't really care about offending people. In fact, you might say, offence is her stock in trade. And although the moral majority wants this sort of thing banned, millions of fans have made her the world's highest paid female entertainer, or artist, as she prefers. Give me a definition of pornography.
I don't know what pornography is. I have no definition. I mean, I think it's a sort of a necessary part of culture.
Is there some outer limit that can't be crossed?
For me, personally?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, when for me the limit is taking advantage of someone, abusing someone when it's not consensual. You know what I mean? If you're in a situation and you're forcing something on somebody who doesn't want to have anything to do with it, then that's where I draw the line.
But then what about with children, animals?
Well, children, I mean, I think if someone's having sex with a child, there's definitely something being forced. So, and animals don't turn me on, so. But I'm sure they turn some people on.
What did Dad think of the book?
What did who think?
Dad.
I don't know that he's seen it. He has not responded to me as far as the book goes. I doubt if he will read the book. It's not really literature from my father.
Well, he's my age.
Well, it's got nothing to do with age. My father's very, you know, he has very traditional middle-class values.
But for real though, who daddy want to see their daughter or their son like this? Like, ew, like, but I want to see baby Empress like this. She go, no, let's go.
Devout Catholic, and I don't think that it's going to be on the top of his reading list. I'm a fallen Catholic, if that's what you want to...
Oh, sure, yeah. I know that from his reading about you.
Yeah, I mean, I was raised a Catholic, but I think that there's a lot of hypocrisy in the Catholic Church. And I think that Catholicism is based on punishment and guilt and sin, and it's a very sexist religion. And so I have a lot of problems with it, and they're not... women have absolutely no power in the church, in the Catholic Church. So as a liberated woman, how could I support that religion?
Madonna, it seems, is a liberated woman who incinerated her bra some time ago. Certainly she wasn't wearing it at this recent fashion parade. But where else she plans to wear this dress wasn't clear. It was not for this interview, anyway.
So, like I said, really, if this whole era was Madonna feeling herself like, ooh, my body is on point. Ooh, I'm killing them. Ooh, I'm killing them, killing them. That's what she thought she was doing. She's like, I'm killing them. Let's go.
Would there be improper things that you wouldn't do in front of this 60 Minutes camera now, given that you'll be speaking to families and that sort of thing in suburbia in Australia?
I wouldn't lie to you.
You wouldn't lie to me. Isn't that lovely? But I mean, would you do an interview like this topless? Would that be improper for such an audience?
If that's what I felt like doing. I mean, I don't know what your restrictions are, but I don't feel moved to take off my clothes. So.
All right. I'll...
Don't worry.
No, I'm not worried. I'm excited.
It's too cold.
Would someone turn up the heating?
Hello?
You're breaking and entering, you know.
Sorry.
Sit down.
Madonna's movie career has not so far eclipsed her success as a singer. But her role in Dick Tracy was worthy of Mae West.
Whose side are you on?
Side I'm always on. Mine.
No grief for lips?
I'm wearing black.
A romance bloomed between Madonna and her leading man, Warren Beatty.
You know, it's legal for me to take you down to the station and sweat it out of you under the lights.
I sweat a lot better in the dark. God. 2 words to describe Warren Beatty. Tall.
Oh, he's
and
tall?
diplomatic.
Really?
Oh, that leads me straight to Sean Penn.
Talented.
Interesting. She used the word diplomatic to describe Warren as well. Interesting. Like I said, like I never understood them two as a couple. But anyway.
Tortured.
Dang. Toxic. That's what that means.
Go all the way. Go ahead. Won't do you an ounce of good.
What movie is this?
You waste
Oh, Shanghai.
wasting your time. I'm not going to look.
Torture might be the best description of Madonna's short-lived marriage to actor Sean Penn. It seems that Penn's role model was Muhammad Ali, rather than Dustin Hoffman.
Oh,
Please
shit.
get on with this, Mr. Swayze. We have a lot to do today.
No, sorry. I had more fun when I had the mumps.
The relationship came to a violent end when Penn brutally assaulted Madonna. Do you want a permanent relationship with one person?
How do you know I don't have one?
No, the question doesn't presuppose that.
Yes, I think that's a good thing.
Do you have a permanent relationship with one person?
Yes.
And do you enjoy it?
Yes.
May I ask who?
No.
What's your idea of a
Drop the comments below. Who's she talking about here?
good night out?
My idea of a good night out is being able to walk wherever I want without anybody coming up and tapping me on the shoulder, and going to a really good restaurant, going to the movies, just being completely anonymous.
How does one get a date with Madonna?
Well, you have to smell good. It's really important.
Take a deep breath. The second most famous woman in the world, would you accept that?
Who's the first?
Di?
Really? I thought I was the first. Okay, well, she gets picked on more than me, so that's okay.
Do you like being famous?
It has its ups and downs.
What are the downsides?
I think the biggest downside about being famous is that when you become hugely famous, and is that people forget that you're a human being.
Perhaps that's a small price to pay for the huge income that Madonna's notoriety has earned for her. Her $60 million contract with Warner Brothers clearly signals this material girl intends to be a star for a long time yet. Stay tuned for her next outrageous act.
All right, so interesting interview. Well, this interview was okay, right? I feel like we get to the point now where it's kind of like, the same questions being asked over and over. So I think we might go ahead and skip on to whatever the next phase is during this whole erotica sex, the tour era. Dang, y'all, I forgot what I was about to say. I was about to say something too. But yeah, like I said, like I've been saying since I've been listening to the album, this does seem like a shift for me and Madonna in regards to kind of like, again, here, just maturity. She's entering into like that kind of, maybe third phase of her career right now. You know what I mean? Like, where again, she's an established artist now. She was around for a whole decade. She has the hits to back that up. Like I can see kind of like how I feel like the rest of the decade is about to play out. I'm gonna keep that to myself though. All right, y'all. I'm here for it. Drop the comments down below if y'all had anything insightful from this interview. It really wasn't anything like I don't know. But anyway, yeah, drop the comments down below. See you guys next time.